This video falls under fair use. Fair use allows commentary, criticism, and reactions. What's up, back with another one. So today, I'm going to show you this clip of Boogie, Draymond, and Lou speaking on Ja Morant. Check it out.
Senior NBA insider Shams Charania on the program now. Shams, good morning. What happened that led to this suspension?
Gary, there's been tension in the last several days around Ja Morant and his feelings toward first-year head coach Tuomas Isolo's rotation patterns, his plays. But it really culminated after and during the loss to Lakers on Friday night in the post-game locker room. Morant and Isolo had an exchange where Isolo called out Morant's leadership and effort in front of the whole team. And as teammates and staffers all looked on, Morant responded in what the team deemed an inappropriate and dismissive way, according to sources. And that's when the Grizzlies, their team officials, huddled up and they levied a one-game suspension on Ja Morant.
When I saw his comments, I found those interesting, but all they did was confirm to me what I was watching. When we got on that plane, I was telling Steph, like, man, Ja ain't in it at all. Like, it looked like something happened. Like, Ja, it ain't Ja. Like, he was giving the ball to Cam Spencer and kind of going to stand in the corner. You know, so you could tell. And Steph was like, huh, quiet protest going on, huh? And I was like, that's what it looked like. And then obviously after the game, we saw the comments. I was like, yep. And rightfully so, there was something going on. And so when you see this leaves you in a space of, is this the beginning of the end? And it takes you back to Taylor Jenkins getting fired and them hiring just bumping the assistant coach up. When you looked at their team, Jaren, Ja, and those guys, I think they rocked with Taylor Jenkins. I truly in my heart believe that they rocked with Taylor Jenkins. So if that's the case and you just up and fire him, you're almost signaling to Ja and possibly Jaren that you really don't give a damn what they think about who's coaching them. And so when I look at this suspension, I say, okay, they didn't hire an assistant coach who I'm almost certain that Ja didn't really sign off on. But they're showing you they don't care what you think. And usually when they show stars that they don't care what you think, the next move is usually you.
Let me just jump in real quick, because this whole situation with Ja Morant feels like something that's been building for a while. You've got guys like Cousins, Draymond, and Lou giving honest opinions, and they're not wrong.
Now we come into this game and we're talking about lack of effort and all these other things. It was a situation where, you know, it was frustration in the game and it should have been left in that moment. It shouldn't have carried over. So I look at both sides. I look at Ja and I look at the coaching staff. Because like I said, the previous game, it was a 30-point game and everything was all good. And he was the franchise guy and the leader of the team and doing everything right. So one game later, we're now shifting the narrative again. And that's just not how this works. It's now becoming the blame game. This was a season from the beginning. It's not much talent on the roster. And you guys weren't winning this season. So let's not start making this about Ja Morant. Yes, he's had his mistakes. Yes, he's done wrong, but he's been a professional ever since. He's doing things. He's been trying to lead to the best of his ability. And frustration is a part of sports. Let's stop acting like it's not. If you disagree, it's because you're a nerd and you never played the game. That's simple as that. Frustration is a part of sports. If you think we're not human beings, if you think we don't have emotions when we're playing on the field, on the court, or whatever respected sport we're playing, that is a part of the game, and this is the part that pisses me off. Stop dehumanizing these people. Stop acting like people aren't human beings. Stop acting like people don't have feelings, because it's a real thing, and you can't sit here and just turn it off like it's a switch in life. That's not how life works. But to talk about Ja as well, he does have to handle these situations differently. He does have to be more professional. And like Lou and Will said, you owe it to the fan base and you owe it to yourself to go out there and perform at a high level every night. That's on his part.
Like, all things aside, yes, he's human. Yes, we all go through things. Yes, we're all frustrated. Control what you can control, though. You can control that effort on the floor.
Absolutely.
You can still go out there and bust the other team and be frustrated with your coaching staff. You can still go out there and do that. You can still perform at a high level and still tell your coaching staff, I'm still not pleased. You can still go out there and go get another 30 ball and say, hey, man, go talk to him why X, Y, and Z not working. You can still do those things. And so for that, for me, Don't give anybody ammo to dehumanize you. Don't give anybody ammo to keep talking about you. You've already had your issues. So I'm not saying that he should walk on thin ice or eggshells, but he got to read the room. You know, like, again, this is a great summer for Ja Morant to come back in re-energized. I'm out there on that AAU circuit. It ain't nothing but Ja Morant shoes on these kids' feet. They love Ja.
And that's because he's the player that he is. That's because he's
the player that he is.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, no matter how good and talented John Morant is, all the things that he's had to go through and all the issues he's had, he's still auditioning for the 29 other teams to want to invest in him, to want to make a move to even get him, assuming he's unhappy. And when you start talking about lack of effort, like you're not, and you're messing with the game, as you know, as guys say and coaches say, that's not okay. And again, I agree with Lou there. That's an unprofessional approach to take to quit on your teammates and to not give your full effort. And that's what we saw in that game the other night. So as much issues as I've had with coaches and you know, there's a lot of ups and downs throughout the season. It can't alter your effort, because that is just an extremely bad look around the league. It's a bad look for yourself. And listen, I know first and foremost how quickly these Memphis Grizzlies fans can turn on you. And John Morant has done a lot of stuff for this franchise. It's going to take a lot, and I think he's their guy regardless. But not playing as hard as you can and quitting, and then optics-wise saying these type of things, basically quitting on your team and to go ask the coach, that's not a leader. That's not a franchise player. You don't say things like that when you're in that position. So at the end of the day, if I'm 29 other teams, I have to look at all this other detrimental conduct that he's now doing every single season. Does that outweigh his talent?
What's up? So what are my thoughts about this? Here's the thing. Ja Morant is one of the most exciting players in the league, but there's a reason so many veterans are speaking on him. He's put himself in a tough position because some of his off-court decisions and even moments on the court have made people question his maturity and leadership. It's not about his talent, that part is undeniable. It's about image and professionalism. The league wants a face that represents growth, discipline, and consistency, and sometimes Ja promotes the opposite energy. Now, just 24 hours ago, he reportedly got suspended after saying some not-so-kind words to his coach in the locker room. From what's been said, the coach called him out in front of the whole team, and Ja didn't take that quietly. To be real, that reaction is understandable to a point. Most competitive players, especially star players, have pride. If you get challenged in front of everybody, a lot of people would respond emotionally instead of sitting silent. That's human. But at the same time, part of becoming that true franchise leader means learning how to control that moment and use it to motivate instead of escalate. Guys like Draymond, Boogie, and Lou know what that growth looks like. They've all faced criticism too. So hearing them talk about Ja isn't hate, it's reality. They're saying what many are thinking. He's got the tools, but the attitude has to match the talent. Okay, so drop a comment, smash that like button, and make sure you subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video.